Hi everybody, so I'm just coming to you tonight to share a few things with you. My name's Tracy Fesson and I am the happy owner of Epiphany Zone Sewing Instinct Services LLC, which is my service division. And I'm getting ready to go into the next phase of my life. I've been working with some mentors, and as I start to organize these things, I'll be bringing you different information of the stuff that I've been learning over the past probably 10 or 15 years. Starting back, well, all my life, but in 2012 I had an awakening. And it was a very traumatic experience because of the situation I was already dealing with in the kidnapping of my son, which his father had kidnapped him and legalized it. And because of who we know and everything, he won. So that's in the past. So, but over the course of the years, I've always been able to find my peace, and remain happy and healthy and just positive. But there's those few moments in time when you aren't really thinking about it and you have something that just comes out of nowhere and just sideswipes you. And then bam, it sets your trigger off and you are all over the place trying to make whatever it is right. If you're like me, I operate from a high integrity level, and so I pay attention to what people say. To me, your word is your bond. And as the Bible says, let your yeses be yeses and your no's be no. So, some different techniques that I use, and it's taken me a long time to be able to take a step back. But when we are triggered, there's a reason why we're triggered, and we have to go to the why and behind why we're triggered. So Verizon Wireless is one that triggers me, and I will have the CEO of the company on the phone by the end of the phone call if people don't, one, show good customer service, two, know what they're talking about, and three, make me feel like I'm heard because I'm the customer and I pay a lot of money for their services. So, and customer service in America is highly lacking. The customer is no longer just right. It's up to the perception of whoever the person is serving them, and a lot of times they don't come from a high level of integrity. So there are some people that are raised with integrity, there are some people that are not raised with integrity. I was raised with a very high set of integrity, moral standards. I grew up kind of military. I lived all over the United States, either moving from my dad's to my mom's, or I've never lived in one place longer than 5 years. In one house since birth. So, but how to overcome triggers. So when we start getting a trigger, we start feeling frustrated, the first thing that we need to do is take a step back and observe why I am feeling agitated because this person isn't doing their job, or why am I feeling agitated because I'm having to tell this person the 10th time that this is my expectations and this is not how I want it done. In order to be an observer, you have to be able to have the strength, the inner strength, to just sit back and watch, and then be personally accountable. There's so many times when you talk to people and nobody will ever own up to it. It's always not me, I didn't do it, or whatever. But in order to overcome your own triggers, you have to become personally accountable, and you have to figure out why that circumstance is triggering you into a frenzy, or why it's triggering you into having a meltdown or crying. So my meltdowns are pretty dramatic. It's been a very long time since I have just kind of lost it. I am an emotional person. I am an empath. That is my first nature. It's not something that can be shut off or pushed down. And in fact, in society, that's the one thing that society has done wrong, is it's pushed down to everybody's emotions. Your emotions are the key point, to what is going right and what is going wrong in your life. And as long as you are constantly self-evaluating and staying in touch with yourself, you will know and be able to discern in the spirits and the people around you. It's literally the fabric of the universe. It's like watching a cartoon in slow motion, and you can see different circumstances form and take place, and you already know what the outcome is going to be. because that's what the spirit inside of you is showing you. Okay? It's extremely hard to explain if you don't understand the way the power of the universe works, or God. Some of you like to say God or Allah or Sankara. I can't remember the Indian God name, but and no offense to anybody who's watching. I have utmost respect for everybody's God. But in order to be able to overcome those triggers, you have to be able to identify the why. Why am I being triggered? Well, I'm being triggered because I'm being treated poorly. Well, why am I being treated poorly? Well, because this person doesn't have a set base of ethics that they've been taught, and they've not been taught that the customer is always right. Or if it's between a friend, it's because they can't be accountable and look at themselves and hold themselves accountable. They have to point the finger and place the blame, instead of taking responsibility for their behaviors and apologizing for treating somebody shitty or outcasting them on purpose. So I have been at the end of both of those. And so and that's something that I've always been able to do. I've always been able to rise above. I've always been able to turn the other cheek, walk away. There's just times I've chosen not to. And as a young, angry teen, I was all force. I was all for getting in a fight. I mean, I was not going to back down. My nickname wasn't Rocky for no reason. And I wasn't told that I can fight just like a black man for no reason. That's not something to brag about, but I have been put in circumstances where I've had to defend myself. So, with that being said, it's all about the control of your own nature, stepping back and just observing, even though you want to say something, even though you want justice. And there is a time to speak. There is a time to speak out. And when your rights are being infringed on, or when something is being done that is pushing back on your energy in a negative way, then it's your responsibility to push back and stand up for yourself. And there's so many times that I have not stood up for myself, that I've just turned around and walked away, and then they won. And it actually looked bad on me, because instead of setting the record straight, I just would turn around and walk away, because I didn't want that conflict. And what I should have done is I should have turned around and I should have showed up to the meetings, and I should have made these people accountable. So, but I came from that broken mentality of nobody believes me, and therefore I would just be wasting my time and energy going into that meeting trying to set the record straight. So there's a few different places in life that have failed in this aspect. And so this same scenario keeps repeating, or it used to. It doesn't anymore, because I broke that cycle. But what has happened in the past is I've put everything that I've had into something, whether it be work, a friendship circle, or any type of relationship that I was in. I would find myself giving my best, doing my best, which I'm sorry to say, a lot of people don't like hearing this, but it's usually better, faster, stronger, and I usually run circles around everybody in anything that I do. A lot of times I hold up because, I feel bad for the person, or I think, okay, well, I don't mind losing, they need a win, or, whatever. And so then I pull back and I reserve myself. I'm not like that anymore. You can either keep up or be left behind. I have learned that I need to be done being nice. I have sold myself short all my life, trying to show compassion and not giving it my all. Okay? And that has literally just sold me so short. And that's another thing, that once we come into our own, and once we come into realizing, I have been throwing shade on myself for, I'm 48 years old, I'll be 49 in March. My whole life I have been throwing shade on myself just to spare somebody else's feelings, just to spare somebody else's embarrassment or humiliation or whatever it would be. And instead I have literally been abusing myself my whole life just to spare other people. And that is not the answer. Okay? In life we have to stand up and we have to take a hold of the gifts that we are given, or they will be taken away. Now, it is not my fault that I was the type of overachiever starting from a very young age. They took me out of 4th grade to compete against 7th through state in-state track, and I still won my events. Okay? Because that's the type of achiever that I am. I don't do anything half-heartedly. Okay? I do hold up and hold back for the person next to me, but that's all finished. So now I am completely focused on my own. I am in my own zone, epiphany zone, and I'm actually making headway with my LLC. And the only way that I have been able to do that is by gaining love and respect for myself. And how that I've done that is I've had to spend a lot of hours alone. And instead of going out and chasing after these people and continuing to invite them when they don't want me there, or showing up to an event that I'm invited for but not really wanted at, I've just said, no more of that. You know what I mean? I'm an extremely strong person. I am an extremely happy person. I'm an extremely successful person. I am extremely forgiving, and I will give the next person the shirt right off my back. And a lot of people say that, but it is in my walk. Okay? What I say is what I do. You can take my yeses as yeses and my no's as no. And if I can't live up to my obligation, I'm not going to avoid you. I'm going to come look you in the eye, and I'm going to say, look, I can't finish this, or I can't live up to my obligation. This is my solution. So I'm a true believer, and you don't come to anybody with the problem. And if you're going to go with the problem because you have to, then you need to bring the solution that comes right behind that. So all of this is all intertwined, okay? All of the different areas of our life, all of the different key points that we've learned from the time that we are little build up who we are to this day, okay? And I've done a lot of personal growth over the past 3 years, since, well, longer than that, but just, I started listening to Subliminals in 2018, and Abraham Hicks, Bob Proctor, and there are many others out there, but I started reprogramming my mind at night by listening to binaural frequencies and binaural beats that are targeted towards that specific area that I'm trying to change my thought process in, whether it be losing weight, which I have lost a lot of weight. I'm still not down to my goal, but those are all key points that help us have the knowledge that we have, and have the patience that we have, and the abilities to sit back and just observe and watch and not react. And so what I've found is we don't owe anybody anything. If somebody says, okay, well, you have to do this, or I have to have an answer here, or you have to make a decision right now, you do not. Okay, you can sit and think. If you're a child, or if you're a teacher and you have a student that is acting awry, you can wait and sit back and wait for those answers to come to you and make sure that they're the right answers before you go back and approach that person. Okay, because in approaching people when we're angry, we are not going to solve anything. And I am one to, when I am mad, bam, I am on it. I want to take care of it. I will be held accountable first, and everybody else is going to be held accountable on top of that. So I am an introvert by nature, and I'm extremely selective with the people that I have around my energy and in my life. And I've learned to do that now with no regret, no remorse, and no guilt. Because I understand that where my focus is where my power is, and that's what comes back to me in the loop. Okay, because there is a loop in life. Okay, you have your ebbs and flow of life. Just like the moon cycles, everything spins, okay, in a figure 8. That is scientific law. Okay, that is just the way this universe runs. Okay, and so you're going to go up, and then you're going to go down, and you're going to come back up, and you're going to go down, and you're going to go around, and you're going to keep doing this through every single pattern and every single thing in your entire life. Okay, but if you can gain control of your inner world, and you can quiet your mind, and I found it's best to do in the morning. We're always connected to the source energy or God. at all times. Okay, that cannot be taken from us because we are all one body. We are literally organisms and atoms and molecules that are inside of God. Okay, God is the universe. And it's very hard to grasp if you don't understand quantum physics, which I dropped out in 9th grade. Okay, that's the last year I finished. I have a couple months in 10th grade. I went and got my GED. I do have some college. Okay, it's not rocket science to figure this stuff out. It's very basic makeup of our universe. And you don't need a degree to know these things. Okay? If you've ever seen the the cartoon Pixels, that's pretty much what this life is about. And as you start to research these things, that's what you're going to find out. So I don't debate anything with anybody. What I have come to know, I have come to know because that is what the Spirit of God has shown me to be true. So if there's something that you're struggling with, if there's something that I have said that's triggered you, I ask that you please either come on in public, because I'm not afraid to be transparent in anything that I do, or go into my direct messages and leave me a message so that I can be sure to address whatever it is and maybe help you through this process. So going back to overcoming triggers, the key is to step back, observe what is going on, do not react, and especially when they want you to, and just sit and look at them, and just be calm. You can think whatever you want, try and be positive, but then you hold back, and then about 10 or 15 minutes after the situation has gone, then you're going to be able to go back and address the situation, and you're going to be thinking clearly. Because there's times that I have overreacted and I have just jumped right on top of it, and then I'm the one who has had to eat and go. Okay? It wasn't too long ago, that my parents had lied about something really insignificant and it didn't matter. But that snowballed because of my trust issues and them being the person who betrayed me to begin with. That lie was like a deep wound, a deep dagger that just completely opened things up. And the way I handled it was completely wrong. It was reverting back to my old ways and just kind of flipping out like, who the hell do you think you are, lying to me after everything that you've done, and I'm back here. You should be thankful I'm even here. Which is the truth. But I handled that wrong, which then took the light off of the crime that they did again, which God was trying to use me to show the behavior patterns and problems within our family line. And because I overshadowed that with my anger, because of the past hurt that had come up, what they had done was completely insignificant. And so I basically just wasted an outburst for nothing, because all they focused on was my outburst, and I was the one that was in the wrong then. Okay? And there was some other stuff that happened too on top of that, and we quit talking. We quit talking for this whole past summer up until about 3 weeks ago. So, and again, I am very forgiving. My family just, since my grandmother passed away, just has kind of scattered. So in that, I am always willing to work. I am always willing to forgive, and you have to choose forgiveness. You're not ever going to feel like doing it. Okay? You're not going to ever feel like forgiving somebody. That's something that we have to choose, and we have to choose that so that we cannot harbor those feelings of hurt and continue abusing ourselves, because they were already off the hook. So when we forgive, we're letting ourselves off the hook, not them. Because in that forgiveness, okay, then they understand what they did. They know the ramifications of their choices to do the betrayal. And they know they don't deserve your forgiveness, which in turn, internally, whether they want to admit it or not, they're internally working on that. Okay? And they automatically, as soon as you do that, they have that level down of, I really don't deserve this because I know what I did to that person. That was pretty shitty what I did. I'm surprised that they're even still talking to me. And if they're a good person and they are further along in their personal walk, then they will acknowledge those things to you and say, hey, yeah, we screwed up. We did this wrong, and we're here to be accountable. So, but thank God my parents have both done that. My parents have come and apologized and tried to make things right. My brother is my mom's favorite kid still, and that's okay. I was my grandma's favorite. and I'm my dad's favorite. So, but, those are all things, the cold hard truth in life. If we can just accept things for the way that they are and then navigate accordingly in a positive manner, we actually will change the vibration of that karmatic tie into a positive stream flow of energy. And what that does is that opens up those relationships to one, mend, become stronger, and to become new. And so that's what forgiveness does. Okay, that's what happens when you are able to overcome your triggers. And it's extremely important because all those things tie in together. So I'm glad that I could share that with you today. Next Sunday I will also be doing another video, and I will be putting it up. If you guys have any suggestions, comments, or any topics that you're struggling with that you'd like me to touch on, I would be love to be the person to go over that for you. So I just want to touch base on some things I'm going to be focusing on this week. I appreciate all your support. Make sure you hit the like or hit the share, or at least put a smiley in the comments so that you can change the algorithms, because this is not for me. This is for all of you. I've already done my hard work. I've already put in the time, and I could probably just go on life living my beautiful, wonderful, happy life right now. But I know that there's still people that were in the same place that I was, and I don't wish that on my worst enemy. So that's what I'm here to do, is I'm here to teach you how to raise yourself up, how to live your higher self, and how to identify and process all of these cognitive blocks that we've learned along the way through indoctrination. So that's what I'm here for. So this week I am going to be doing, I don't know if my camera's flipped around or not, and I don't have my glasses on there, so I'm blind. But I'm going to be doing the 75 hard mental, it's a mental challenge. It's also exercise. But there's a few things that you have to meet for the criteria for that to be able to work. So one, you have to drink a gallon of water a day. Now I tried this before. It was a 90-day challenge, and I just wasn't in the right mind to make a commitment. It was more of a, let me try and do this thing and just plop on in there. But that's not what this is. This one is literally an overhaul of my life. I've already been actively and frantically just on top of it, changing every single thing, denying myself of the things that I enjoy doing. You know what I mean? Like smoking cigarettes, like, not exercising and sleeping in and waking up 20 minutes before I have to go to work, throwing on clothes and going. Like, I am actively waking up at 5 a.m. every single day. I actively get up and I meditate, I pray, I exercise, and then I go to all my Facebook pages and all my social media pages, and I update those. I work on my second business for a little bit in the morning, and then I'm off to work. Anytime that I have on my lunch breaks, I'm doing my second job. Anytime I come home after I've got the house clean or whatever, dinner done, then I'm back onto my second job. I don't quit. I have no quit. And for those of you who are second guessing me and watching me, you guys are going to be eating goat, okay? Because although I may seem like a frail person that's all over the place, that is the farthest thing from the truth. And as I start to gain my momentum, and as I start to really just step into my own and know that I do have something to offer, anybody who says that I don't is full of shit. They're the ones that don't know, because I have been put through the fire. I have literally been alone day in and day out for the past 2 years, and I have reached out to people. They have not reciprocated. That was very hurtful at one point, but now I'm fine with it. I am rock solid. I don't need any friends. I don't need a boyfriend. I would be great to have a lover, but I don't need that either. There are certain things in life that through discipline and hard work, it pays off. You know what I mean? And it advances you up to that next level. And so now that I've gone through my divorce, I was walking in the cold, got a bed, got a car, got a place. And I have, and in fact, that's what I'm doing. That's what I was doing also today, is my living room is just crazy horrible right now, because I've been overhauling the closets and taking everything out and getting stuff to take to the senior center to donate, and donating toys to neighbors and just sorting through everything. And I'm really cleaning out every single area and department of my life that is no longer serving me. That includes friends, that includes family, that includes business, and everything. So all of this is to propel me into the next level of my life. Okay, which, as you know, I've also been doing some network marketing, and I've met some really, really great group of people who have been training me and helping me change my mindset. I haven't always been happy with what they have to say, but I have been accountable for that, and I will continue to be, because I'm investing in my future. I'm investing in this platform to be able to teach people who are lost, who are broken, who are cold, who are lonely, and who are just out and out, need that hand that reaches down and helps pull them out of the epitome of their shit life. But the only people that I can help are the people who are ready to do the work. And if you're not ready to do the work, then you're wasting your time here. Okay? The only people that are going to be able to keep up are the people that are willing to be accountable, that are not going to come up with excuses about how they're tired, about how they're this. So am I. I wake up at 5 o'clock every morning. I am running a cleaning business on my own. I have my network marketing business that I've also been doing, and then I have all of my Facebook pages, my Twitter pages, and I just opened up 2 more social media accounts, so I'll be actively doing those, plus my webpage that I keep up every single day. Every single day I do those things. Okay? So the 75 Hard Mental Challenge is, you got to exercise for 45 minutes 2 times a day. You have to drink 1 gallon of water. You have to read 10 pages in a nonfiction book that's going to lead to personal development or self-development. Your diet needs to be a consistent, healthy diet. It can be any kind of diet that you want. I'm choosing to do a cross between the Atkins and the Mediterranean diet because I do love my carbs. I don't have over 100 pounds to lose like I did when I first started. I am down to my goal size, which is a size 10, and but that's not, I'm still not happy with where I'm at. So I just want to be, I want to be the best that I can be, and athletically I am a powerhouse, so that's what I need to become again, and I am. So also the last thing is come into your own. Okay, when you're coming into your own, and there's a few people that have reached out to me, I'm not going to mention any names, but there's a few people that have reached out to me and they're like, gosh, well, what do you think about this? Or what do you think about this? And I'm going to tell you that I'm going to support whatever it is that you think that you should be doing. If you need to be doing live feeds, then do live feeds. If you have this kind of wisdom and you're just going and posting stuff, try and hone in on the word and the spirit within you and see what it's wanting you to do, because more than likely with this knowledge, you're not just supposed to be sitting around having casual conversations. You're supposed to be leading and teaching people. We are the people who set the bar. We are the ones who set the example. We are the leaders bringing people into this new earth that is coming. Okay? Because that's what's happening. And I can go back through prophecy. I can go back through every single book in the Bible, and I can go back through Indian prophecies, and I can go back through Nostradamus predictions, and I can go through all kinds of things that I've learned over the course of these years that can prove what is happening. Okay? But I can no longer focus on politics, because that is the whole point of it, is to keep your focus on other things, to distract you from what you should be focusing on, and that is becoming one with God. That is the reason why we were put here on this earth, and that is every single soul. Coming one with God is not a pick and choose, well, maybe I will or maybe I won't. That is something for everybody, okay? And anybody can do it, but not everybody can do it. That motto just sticks with me from my mentor group, because it is so true. This is not the kind of life for everybody. Okay, but anybody can do it. Anybody. You can do it. So if anybody would like to start the 75-day hard challenge, you can ask to join my Facebook group, Epiphany Zone. and we will add you in there. I do have a personal accountability partner. I don't know if she wants her name put out there, so I'm not going to say what it is. And then I've also invited another friend here that live in my small town of Glen Rock that's going to be hopefully joining me on this. So I can't wait to show you the next journey of my life, and I can't wait to share new topics and insight on some of the things that I've gained over the past, 15 years. So as I step into this next stage, I encourage you to join me. So who's out there that's going to reset their script? Are you?